Hollywood has always had two versions of every story, the version they want you to see, and the version they work very hard to make sure you never find out about. Entire PR teams, entire legal departments, entire networks of journalists who were paid to look the other way, all working together for one single purpose: to make sure certain relationships never reach the public. Now, some of these couples were hidden to protect careers, some were hidden to protect contracts, some were hidden because the industry decided the public simply was not ready to know the truth, and some were hidden because the people involved were genuinely afraid. Today we are going behind the curtain, 5 Hollywood relationships that were deliberately kept from the public. The real stories, the real reasons, the truth they tried to bury. Stay with me, because some of what you are about to hear will completely change how you see these celebrities forever. Number 1, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Let's start with one that confused millions of fans for years: Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. In the early 2000s, Ryan Gosling was Hollywood's most wanted man. The Notebook had made him the romantic lead every woman wanted and every director was chasing. His personal life was constant tabloid obsession. Who was he with? Who was he dating? Every outlet wanted to know. And for years, nobody knew about Eva Mendes. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes began their relationship in 2011 while filming The Place Beyond the Pines together. But unlike every other Hollywood couple at the time, they told nobody. No red carpet appearances together, no couple interviews, no coordinated social media posts. The reason was very deliberate. Ryan Gosling had built his entire heartthrob image on being emotionally available to his audience. His team believed that going public with a serious relationship would damage that connection with fans, so they hid one of Hollywood's most genuine love stories to protect a brand image. It was only when Eva Mendes became visibly pregnant in 2014 that the relationship could no longer be concealed. They have now been together for over a decade. 2 daughters, a completely private life, by choice, by design, away from the industry that tried to control their story. Eva Mendes later said, "We made a decision early on to protect what we had. Because in this industry, the moment you share something, it stops belonging to you." One of Hollywood's most real relationships, hidden because real things don't sell the right image. Number 2, Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd. Now this one, most people have completely forgotten about, and that is exactly the point. The year is 1998. Jennifer Aniston is one of the biggest TV stars on the planet. Friends is at its absolute peak, and Jennifer Aniston's personal life is the most watched story in entertainment. Around the same period, Jennifer and Paul Rudd were seen together repeatedly in situations that went far beyond what casual friendship looks like. Private dinners, weekend trips, consistent time together away from cameras. And Hollywood's PR machine went to work immediately. The timing was extremely sensitive. Jennifer Aniston's representatives had carefully constructed the narrative of her relationship with Brad Pitt as Hollywood's perfect love story. Any competing rumor, any suggestion of another connection, threatened to derail that entire carefully managed image. So stories were quietly killed. Sources were silenced. The narrative was controlled. Not because nothing happened, but because the wrong thing happening at the wrong time was bad for business. Today, Paul Rudd is married. Jennifer Aniston has spoken openly about how much of her personal life in that era was managed and shaped by people around her. So much of what people thought they knew about my life back then, they were seeing a version that had been very carefully put together for them. In Hollywood, even your love life is a product someone else is selling. Number 3, Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson. This one involves one of the most valuable franchises in Hollywood history. When Twilight exploded in 2008, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart became the most watched young couple on the entire planet overnight. Millions of fans desperately wanted them to be together in real life. The studio knew exactly what that desire was worth, and they used it. According to multiple people close to the production, the relationship between Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart began developing genuinely and privately long before the studio decided to make it part of their marketing strategy. What started as something real and private was quietly encouraged to become public, because an on-screen couple who were also together in real life was worth hundreds of millions of dollars in additional ticket sales. Their real relationship was hidden first, then weaponized for profit when the timing was right. People close to both of them at the time said that the pressure of having their genuine private feelings turned into a global marketing campaign put an almost unbearable strain on what they actually had together. Robert Pattinson said in a rare, honest interview, "When something that is yours, something genuinely personal, becomes part of a machine that is selling something, it changes. It has to change. It cannot survive that." The relationship eventually collapsed publicly. The tabloids treated it as entertainment, but it was never entertainment. It was two young people whose real feelings were turned into a product and destroyed in the process. Number 4. Tom Cruise and the relationships. His team hid no list about hidden Hollywood relationships would be complete without Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has been one of the most carefully managed public images in the history of Hollywood. For decades, his team has controlled the narrative around every aspect of his personal life with military precision, and multiple relationships have been hidden, shaped, or ended for the sake of that image. Former insiders and journalists who covered Hollywood in the 1990s and 2000s have spoken consistently about the extraordinary lengths Tom Cruise's team went to in order to control what the public saw. Relationships that were becoming public too quickly, quietly managed back into privacy. Connections that threatened the carefully built image ended before they could surface. Stories that got too close to the truth buried before they could be printed. One former publicist who worked adjacent to his team said, "You have to understand, Tom Cruise is not just a person. He is a billion-dollar franchise. And franchises do not get to have messy, unpredictable human relationships. Everything has to serve the brand." The relationships the public was allowed to see, Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, Katie Holmes, were carefully timed and carefully managed. But for every relationship you know about, there were others you were never supposed to hear of at all. In Hollywood, at a certain level of fame, your heart is not your own anymore. It belongs to the machine. Number 5. Leonardo DiCaprio's hidden relationships. And finally, Leonardo DiCaprio. Since Titanic in 1997, Leonardo DiCaprio's personal life has been one of the most discussed topics in entertainment. The models, the yachts, the famous group of friends, the public image of a man who commits to nobody. But that image, like everything in Hollywood, was carefully constructed. Multiple people who have been close to Leonardo DiCaprio over the years have described relationships that were far more serious, far more emotionally genuine, and far more significant than anything the public ever saw. Connections that were kept completely hidden, not because they were shameful, but because Leonardo DiCaprio understood very early that the moment a relationship becomes public in Hollywood, it becomes a target. The tabloids, the paparazzi, the constant pressure. He had watched what that had done to other people, and he made a choice. Keep what is real and private. Show the world only what you can afford to lose. A close friend once described his approach this way. Leo separates very clearly between what he lets the world see and what he actually feels. Most people think they know him. Almost nobody actually does. The playboy image, the rotating roster of models, that was the distraction. The real Leonardo DiCaprio, the one with genuine feelings and genuine connections, was kept completely hidden. By design, on purpose, always. 5 stories. 5 completely different reasons for hiding: protecting a brand, controlling a narrative, surviving a machine that turns real feelings into products, or simply trying to keep something genuine in a world that will commodify anything it can get its hands on. Hollywood does not understand love. It understands value. And the moment your relationship has value to someone else, it is no longer entirely yours. The couples who survived because they protected what they had from the industry that wanted to own it. The ones who didn't were the ones who let Hollywood tell their story for them. If this video opened your eyes to how the industry really operates, hit the like button, share it with someone who thinks Hollywood is all glamour, and subscribe, because next time we're going even deeper behind the curtain of the world's most powerful entertainment machine. I will see you in the next one.